Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Sunday, December 23rd at midnight, 2018, Christmas Eve, and the new models are in. That's why I've been waiting. And they are devastating. Take a look at the snow totals as we enter the new year, moving south through Texas and into Mexico. I can't implore you enough that the people in this region are already prepared because they've seen heavy snow already in the fall. But the regions down here that may experience heavy snow, I don't think are ready. Not only are they not ready, but the infrastructure in some of these regions of Ciudad Juarez, El Paso, they've never seen anything like this. Heavy snows moving through the northeast. Here you see a North Carolina cutoff line where everything above there on January 2nd is pummeled with snow, heavy swath. We're going to be watching it. Keep calm. It's boom time. More to cover. We've been warning for 6 months that Krakatoa is going to experience a major outburst in this grand solar minimum, and the uptick has been continuing. And today the uptick continued, unfortunately, to the detriment of over 50 human lives, 600 injured at this moment. And this is not the eruption we're predicting. This is just an uptick of Krakatau, the baby daughter of Krakatoa. And this uptick has been going on for months. And we've been predicting the uptick and reporting on it. And as it continues before your very lives, another prediction that we made in the last year has come true. This is not the event we're predicting. This is simply an uptick in a sequence of events. Now, this one caught people off guard according to the mainstream. Are you kidding me? There are many people, I'm not the only one, that has been warning that this volcano is going to erupt in epic proportion, and this is not the eruption I'm predicting. This is the beginning of it. This is an uptick. This is the most major outburst since Krakatoa blew its top hundreds of years ago. Well, more than 100. But the ensuing tsunami was also, unexpected. These people were not expecting this. Are you kidding me? I hope you're kidding me. This is not a catastrophic tsunami. Albeit 50 lives have lost and the numbers are increasing and 600 are injured, but this is not a catastrophe. 6 hotels, maybe 500 homes damaged. Did you know the same thing happened in Tampa the other night? Yeah, they said it was a weather-related tsunami. I don't have that footage up, but it is blowing my mind that people just, they're like, oh, yeah, it's normal, and then they go on with their day. Everything will be normal in this region in about a month. And unfortunately, Krakatoa has not done what it was born to do, and that is to release magma from the subsurface, to release pressure. It's not there to kill you, but if you put your house 50 miles away on the shore, well, then you surely will be killed. We'll be back to this footage in a moment. As I said, keep calm, it's boom time. At least 43 killed when tsunami hits beaches in Indonesia. I didn't even look at that video. A tsunami hit Pandalang, Sarang, South Lampung, Indonesia Saturday night. Up to 50 now is being reported and injured 582.
Tsunami waves or seismic sea waves.
Let's see what she has to say.
Are a series of waves, not just one, that are created when there is an underwater disturbance, like an earthquake or a volcanic eruption. When an earthquake strikes, the erratic movement of the ocean floor can generate a tsunami. The first wave in this series can occur within minutes of the earthquake or hours. Areas that are closest to the epicenter will experience the waves much sooner than areas far away. One warning sign of a tsunami is water right along the coast rapidly receding. If you see this or find yourself in a tsunami-warned area, seek higher ground immediately and get as far away from the coast as you can. Make sure you stay in that safe place until the tsunami threat has ended.
And that's a boom. That was a very good synopsis of the truth of tsunami. There's no way to predict them. We do have buoys off the coast of many areas that are capable of predicting oceanic shifts. And we also have seismographs and seismometers all around the earth, but they cannot accurately predict tsunamis in time, especially if you are this close to Krakatoa. Literally out in the Sunda Strait here, Jakarta is seconds away from dangerous tsunami warnings. Naguro tweeted on his verified account that 430 houses and 9 hotels were heavily damaged, indicating the tsunami hit residential and tourist areas. More information will be coming in the morning. The tsunami was likely caused by a combination of underwater landslides. I concur, due to volcanic eruption. I showed you that uptick about 4 weeks ago, that berm forming in front of Krakatoa. Now what happens is that when a major uptick occurs and huge volumes of lava weight smash down on that ridge, it displaces it, forms a landslide, which then hits the ocean and pushes a small 8 to 10 foot wall of water forward. And it did do that, and it pushed it up on South Lampung and Pandalang. Both sides of the Sunda Strait were affected. That's the science behind it, and it's not done. This is just the beginning of an uptick. So we're going to be reporting on this as it continues, as we were set out to do. Far-reaching storm to deliver disruptive rain and mountain snow across western U.S. into Christmas. Now, people with last-minute holiday travel plans across the southwestern U.S. may be hindered by rain, snow, gusty winds, and a blizzard coming after Christmas that's going to lick you like Al Gore never predicted. A winter storm is expected to drop through the region beginning on Monday, bringing heavy, widespread precipitation and blizzard conditions and cooler weather to many areas after the fearmongers are going on and on about 1 degree above normal temperatures as being some warming trend. Anyone planning on traveling through the western U.S. on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day should prepare for extremely dangerous conditions. The Northwest has been the main target for recent storms, including 100-foot waves, 250,000 power outages in the last 24 hours up in British Columbia and other areas. And the Northwest has been will be the track for the upcoming storm. Four Corners region especially, bringing precipitation to much of California and the Great Basin. Initially, following the Four Corners by late Monday, rain and heavy elevation snow will arrive in Oregon and Northern California on Monday, Central California and the Great Basin by Monday night, and Southern California and the Four Corners on Tuesday. So if you live in this region, it's a heads up. Travel disruptions, falling snow levels, and rough seas. And this is not opening up. We've had multiple attacks on our system tonight, so I'm trying to deal with it. Bear with me. Here you see the potent storm, which has a name. I don't know what the name is. Doesn't matter. What matters is early in the week there will be travel disruptions, falling snow levels, and rough seas. And those people that are going to work on Wednesday, heads up. This is the way it's going to lay out. You may have to lay low. Motorists should use caution along stretches of Interstate 5, 10, 15, and 80. Even a small amount of rain can heighten the risk of hydroplaning, especially where there's oil buildup. Not to mention the snow and the icy mix. 1 to 2 feet of snow will pile up in the span of 12 hours, according to AccuWeather storm warning meteorologist Billy Clark. Thank you, Billy. Did you know that 18 inches of snow fell Friday in western North Carolina? Yeah, this is after 34 inches fell earlier in the fall. So some areas have gotten over maybe 50, 60 inches of snow before winter. That's crazy. And the precipitation record in this region is almost certain to fall, as it has fallen south of here, breaking the 8-foot mark for the year for rain. 8 feet of rain. Let's talk about it. While Asheville was getting yet another rainstorm Friday, some mountain areas endured a veritable blizzard, up to 18 inches of snow in some regions, including Cherahalla Skyway in western Graham County at an elevation of 5,400 feet. They got 18 inches, said Doug Outlaw, who's no outlaw because he works for the man, the National Weather Service. The Asheville Regional Airport received over an inch of rain, bringing the annual total to nearly 74 inches, which is just an inch and a quarter away from the all-time record. And with 2 more rain events headed our way and cosmic rays at an all-time maximum, Outlaw said that Diamond is almost guaranteed to make another prediction come true. Heads up, Outlaw. And that's tonight's first boom. Science and history repeats itself as we predict it. According to the National Weather Service, confidence is increasing that snowstorm will slam Minnesota after next week. A very strong snowstorm could arrive Wednesday through Friday. An impressive winter storm capable of dumping a significant amount of snow, called a blizzard, is taking aim at Minnesota next week, including northern Mexico and southern Texas. We'll get to it. The timing and specific track of the storm is still uncertain, and global warming alarmists are now praying that it is not really coming true. But it is becoming more likely that a powerful blizzard will hit Wednesday through Friday across North America. Confidence continues to increase as severe cold, record rain, December tornadoes, and 2018 closes out a year of unpredictable weather, unless you watch our channel. If you watch the mainstream, then you're part of the lame stream. But a new year and a record-setting cold snap is in effect as Illinois' bid-farewell of 2017, a bitterly cold air mass arrived the day after Christmas, continuing to linger over the parts of the state, setting Chicago and Rockford into a deep freeze well into the new year. Will this happen again? I guarantee it. You're about to see it. Did you hear about the coldest April in 111 years disrupting the baseball season? They didn't linger on that topic, but it's the truth. And it's only going to get worse as we go through this winter and into next spring. It will be a ding-ding. And the idiots still alarm, and the funding is still going to nonsense. And here the latest funding proves that the Sierra Nevada snowpack is on track to collapse to zero. 79% collapse, new study warns. And this is in just the next 80 years. There will be no more snow in the Sierras because we're burning up and sea levels are rising. The only problem is the snow water equivalent as of the first day of winter is 100% normal. Throughout the entire Sierra, there is not an anomaly that I could find. 15 to 25 inches or more everywhere across the Sierra caps and many feet of snow predicted. Now let's run up the coast. And let's just see the nonsense for the fact that it's nonsense. What I'm panning out on is Sierra Crest. Here's Carson City, Nevada. Right here. And these regions of purple, because Oppenheimer Ranch is a legend, is going to be revealing 59 to 100 inches of snow. So here north of Yosemite, completely 100% over normal snowpack. We don't smoke crack. And let's just go south and see how far the Sierra snowpack moves down through King City, Atascadero. Let's keep going. Bakersfield, Oxnard, Thousand Oaks, East LA. Here's the San Fernando Valley, and snow is just a short drive to the north in the Sequoia National Forest. Let's move up the Sierra Crest. So you can see the actual, this is live data. So right here north of Yosemite, they're talking 197 inches of snow in some areas. We're coming up through Lassen Peak, all normal snow totals. Here we have over 40 inches through most of the region. As you get up towards the mountain, there's over 200 inches at the summit. All the national parks, all of the volcanoes completely covered in above average or normal snowpack. Here we are coming up into Eugene, Oregon. Let's check out the pack in Oregon. Apparently we're all burning up and there'll never be snow here. Whoa! The Oregon snowpack is almost 295 inches. Just, holy shit. That's just west of Bend, Oregon. That's crazy. Those are crazy totals. This is a government website. And the reason they can't lie here is because these are monitors that are up on the mountain. Here up on Mount Hood, showing up to 200 inches or more. Could be approaching 300 in that region. And then certainly as we get up to Guilford, Pinchot National Forest, we're talking 200 to 300 inches in many regions. Let's bring it up towards Seattle because facts are a bitch and we're looking at them. The facts are that the first day of winter in the North Cascades is a record year. We're talking tilting the earth at 300 inches across the entire crest here. Do you know how many feet 300 inches there? There's 20 plus feet of snow throughout all the North Cascades. 20 plus feet of snow all the way down to Wenatchee National Forest. This is thousands of square miles. And as we get up into British Columbia, it becomes more ridiculous. The snowpack up in British Columbia is epic. And we're not showing it here. There it is. Boom. Look at these totals. These are all in the 20-foot range on the first day of winter. This gets up into the... This is 50 feet of snow right here in the tan. 30 to 50 feet of snow throughout this range as we enter winter. How much more snow could they get than 50 feet? Do they get 500 feet? Because they're gonna. These facts are undeniable. I will leave you links to the USDA, U.S. Forest Service snow mapping project, which is completely revealing. You want to be more revealing? Here's the snow from now till you wake up. Snow's going to be falling through snowshoes, southern West Virginia, maybe even some snow in the mountains of North Kakalaki, but a heavy band up here in Quebec. Some lake effect in New York. Heavy band here in... where is this? What is this? You know, central Canada. And the West Coast is going to be getting it tonight. Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, heads up. Northern Colorado is going to be picking it up. Northern Utah, Northern Nevada. Some sparse mountain snow through the Bighorns in Idaho. And Northern Cali. Ho, ho, ho. Let's check the GFS model for the epic snow forecast coming. And this is the most recent update. It just came out 30 minutes ago. So this is the beginning of Christmas Eve. These are the people that will have snow on the ground. Epic snow in British Columbia, Washington State, Oregon, Northern California, Northern Nevada, all of Idaho as we predicted, Western Montana, Western Wyoming, most of Western Colorado picking up snow as we head into Christmas morning. Here's your Christmas morning. All of New York State. You might even get flurries in Manhattan, Northern Jersey. Yeah, it's looking amazing. All of Northern PA, ho, ho, ho. Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts. White Christmas. Here's your Christmas. It's going to fall into Kentucky during Christmas Day. Christmas Day Eve, we'll have snow moving down into North Carolina, New Mexico, Arizona, the southern Sierras, and then it comes. It comes right after that. The big blizzard is going to start on the 26th. Quickly moves east, battering South Dakota, Minnesota, northern Michigan. and the peninsula, the Great Lakes region, into Ottawa and Quebec. And then here's New Year's Eve. Most of the country will have snow on the ground by New Year's Eve, and there will be very few articles about global warming. And then the bell's about to drop while another heavy system moves through North Carolina, West Virginia, and drops into Mexico and South Texas. And then as we head into the first of the year, a record blizzard is forming for the Alamo. I can't even believe these numbers that I'm looking at here. And this is going to track in a southerly direction back into the areas hit. So we're going to see how this develops over the next week and a half, but heavy snows forecast down into 22 degrees north latitude. That's basically Cuba in the first few days of winter and the first few days of the new year. These are only models, but they're scary. That quake that we talked about, the East African Rift Zone in Zimbabwe, 5.5, about to go off the map. There is no actual activity in the Sunda Strait, which is right here, that is coming up on USGS. We do have a tremor out here, 4.9 in Tiku. On the other side of the Sunda, we have a 4.0 in Samulaki. But the biggest quake of note, 6.0 in Vanuatu. No tsunami warning. Another interesting pattern I noticed was quakes moving through a very rare region of the U.S., ending in Poth, Texas, with a rare 3.0. Pecos, we know they're fracking there, subsurface injection, and 18 kilometers south of St. George, Utah. This area is waking up. This is a new area of seismicity, as well as Poth, Texas. And we just had that tsunami that rode up on Tampa, which we'll cover tomorrow when we have the data. Still uncovering it as we go. 22 minutes, 29 seconds in. Krakatoa volcano, impossible major eruption with ash to 55,000 feet to following deadly tsunami. Did you read that? Possible major eruption with ash to 55,000 feet. That's in the stratosphere, folks. It is beginning. So the beginning has just begun. We've had several other eruptions in the last 6 months reaching 55,000, and now it is officially an uptick. 3.5 a year at 55,000 is an uptick, and we're looking for VEI 4-5. The next on our horizon, up 65, 75,000 feet. We also have Fuego on the list. Dukono and Abiko. Where will it strike next? The high probability is Indonesia, and let's watch the eruption as it happens. Maybe we'll play some flute. That's what that looks like. Seismic uptick as predicted in the Sunda Strait. Ana Krakatau, daughter of Krakatoa, about to blow up. As we predicted, let's watch tsunami footage. This is tsunami light. Trust me, over 300,000 people were killed just years ago in the same region from a real tsunami who's not your mommy. Let's look at it. There's the breaking world news spinning before your very lives. Now, clearly, these people live too close to this volcano to be prepared for this. Even if there was a tsunami warning system, most of them would have continued to drink at the bar and stayed there. I know it. I used to be one of them. And they would have got washed away with the rest. I imagine that there was a volcano tourism boat or two in that region where people died. So, hopefully we don't get a report that Volcano Discovery is involved in this, and our prayers go out to them and others that are watchers, that are watching this activity like us, but we're out of harm's way, and hopefully they were too. And that is a definite boom. So send your good mojo out that way to Volcano Discovery and others that are on the ground, boots on the ground, daily in that region, to provide you with live footage just like this coming from Volcano YT. And if you want to see some excellent footage, come check out their live stream here. Go back hours ago. They actually have people on the ground in Indonesia walking around to show you the damage, circumnavigating both parts of the Sunda Strait for your perusal. But apparently we just are too late to show you that. They're going to be putting that up tomorrow. So let's go back live. You can see clearly here, Mount Etna is in a major uptick phase. So the next major output, similar to the one we just saw at Krakatoa, will occur at Mount Etna, probably in the next days or weeks. And it will surprise all of mainstream media, because the same thing will occur here. There will be a minor tsunami. The only problem is here on the coast away from Etna, there are many more people. So a minor tsunami here will cost millions, hundreds of millions of damage on the coasts nearby into tourist regions. And we're just waiting on that. It may even fry tourists because they have walkways that go near this, which is quite unfortunate because we've warned against it. Duly noted now, 3 times. Heads up. If you don't know about Volcano YT, subscribe to the channel. Give them a thumbs up. Tell them that they're doing amazing work and to stay away from erupting volcanoes. Now, science portion of the update. We're talking and we're looking at an amazing graphic that's going to get you right in there, like swimwear. So for the layman, if you haven't seen the interview I did with one of my former students, William Wetstein, I implore you to go look at that. Really good information, background on me and my history, which is not a mystery. It's easily searchable. David James Mariello, born August 28th, 1971, Temple University, ResearchGate. You can find some of my abstracts. Now let's talk about abiotic oil and conspiracy theory. So it is my opinion that the powers that be in the oil and gas industry have been hiding the scientific facts from you. In fact, if you don't know what a lobbyist is, please Google it. These are groups of people that get paid exorbitant amounts of information to troll you and to shut you down and to make you feel like a piece of shite. And I believe there is now a concerted effort to fill my inbox from these shills. And I know it was going to happen here when I started talking about climate scientists after I made my move to the Western US. Because as I did my work on the Eastern Coast in Philadelphia, I made sure to dot my I's, across my T's. I called all the powers that be. I got all of the correct permits. And to that end, they knew every move I was making. And that was on purpose, because I'm not making any of these moves covertly. This information is part of the Constitution of the United States of America. It's called freedom of speech. More importantly, the freedom of scientific endeavor has never been allowed ever in modern history. And if you just don't know what I'm talking about, go look about the Inquisition, what they did to Galileo and every other scientist up until this point. Velikovsky, most importantly, the most recent scientist with the most groundbreaking information of catastrophism ever possible. He was the last to be quelched. And then it leads on to the Adam and Eve story, was published by Chan Thomas after the Charles Hapgood information came about, another catastrophist, geologist. And the powers that be, the Illuminati, the shadow government, the aliens, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. Whatever tribe or group you're in, the ends are the means to it all, to keep you enslaved and to keep you uninformed. Now, I've been purporting this my entire career. The most dangerous thing to a corrupt system is an informed public. The most dangerous probable thing ever would be for you to actually know what's going on, because you would stop what you're doing right now and not follow the protocol. You cannot have a indentured slave model of crony capitalism run by the elites unless you believe that you're free and you believe the false narrative of the science they feed you. And you believe it wholeheartedly because you flock along with the sheep. It's called groupthink. And you won't ever know that you were an idiot until you're dead, which doesn't matter because it takes 30 to 40 years to figure out the facts. Meaning the readjustment where they let you finally in on what we knew 50 years ago takes 50 more years. Now, the problem with that is we're reaching an end game. It's not the end of the universe. It's not the end of the planet. Even if we had nuclear war and we shot off all the nukes on the Earth, in about 20 years, we would be able to come up onto the surface and it would be fine. You see, the universe is an amazing recycler of assholes. Time immemorial, cosmic catastrophe has wiped the slate of information on the globe. This has been ongoing. And then those that are in the know are able to capture that information and hide it from the masses, so that they can capitalize, i.e. capitalism, on your asses and tax the masses to their benefit. So you slave and toil your entire life for nothing, to die with a hospital bill that you pass on to your children. Do you believe that that is the cosmic story? Because that's insane. And I digress. I apologize. But I'm trying to instill some knowledge into the groupthink. And I want you to know that you are unique. You are the only one that is you. There is nothing wrong about you. Anyone who has ever told you that anything is wrong with you, they're wrong. Because it's their own insecurities that make them say that. So embrace yourself. Embrace what everyone has called insecurities or social dysfunctions or mental illnesses, and embrace them. Those are gifts. You are a unique individual, and the reason you're here is for a purpose. And that's to help humanity. It's to help your neighbor get through this. Compassion is my passion. Now let's talk about some science. Let's talk about abiotic oil and the fraud that has been perpetrated by the oil and gas industry, the mainstream, the Illuminati, the shadow government, the powers that be, and the alien forces that control us. None of that might be true. But what is true is the obfuscation from the truth for corporatocracy means. This is to cash in on the facts. If we have a limited amount of resources, wouldn't that mean that it's worth more? That's how they control the precious metals market. That's how they control the stock market. That's how they control your retirement, called the 401k. Hey. And that's how they've controlled this renewable resource energy called oil and gas for decades. By using their dirty methods of extraction, which could be about 8,000 times cleaner if they spent more money, they continue to pollute the earth that we live on, give everyone cancer, pollute the skies. But what they're harvesting is a natural resource created by the earth. And hydrocarbons are created at the Mohorovic discontinuity, the same discontinuity that causes volcanic eruptions, crustal displacement, and the Adam and Eve story. So the very story that you've been classified from is the very story that they're profiting from. Are you picking it up? Because I'm putting it down. And I'm going to do it in baby steps, which is why I have this visual here, where you can see the pink area, which is the outer core, and then that orange region, that's the Mohorovic discontinuity. Some call it the low velocity zone. It's very misunderstood, but as a geologist with the depth of knowledge and the experience that I have, it's becoming very clear that the Mohorovic discontinuity, or the low velocity zone, is very significant, because not only is magma instantaneously produced in this zone, it's a zone we used to call the liquid plastic region. This is 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we referred to this zone as the liquid plastic region. Not many people know that, and I'm revealing it tonight. Because for decades, we've known that the Mohorovic discontinuity, which is now called the low velocity zone for some cockamamie reason, not only that, they have it up higher in the lithosphere, which is wrong. The low velocity zone could actually be at 2,400 kilometers, not at 600. But I digress. That is a whole other chapter for hundreds of years of research. The fact is that hydrocarbons are produced because of cosmic reasons. So is volcanism. Now, we were tipped off to the volcanic cosmic ray connection back in 2011. And ever since then, more and more information is corroborating that, including abiotic oil. So if you didn't know that fossils from animals and plants are not necessary for crude oil and natural gas, according to a Swedish researcher, believe me, because I've been in the field and I've checked all coal measures, and everywhere there's plant fossils above and below oil shales. And the fossils are not that thick in the hydrocarbon-bearing regions. Now, what I mean by that to the layman is that if you look at a coal measure, let's take the Sinclairsville Formation in western Pennsylvania. The coal itself has almost no fossils. I found some bituminous coal that has fern fossils in it, but the majority of coal has no fossils. The fossils are above and below it. So based on fairy tales, the scientific literature teaches us that that coal measure is a squished or squoze peat bog, let's say during the Carboniferous, which we shared to you the other night with that Scottish sea stack. That was part of the Carboniferous depositional unit. And that unit in Scotland was nothing but limestone and black shale, which would suggest a tropical marine environment in England. It's not tropical there anymore, but it is marine. But 11,000 years ago, it was tropical in England. And 320,000 years ago, in the Carboniferous, it was tropical in England. And 8,000 years ago, up in Siberia, it was tropical in Siberia. And 11,500 years ago in Siberia, mammoths, which are not cold weather animals. So those of you out there that are perpetrating the fraud that mammoths lived in cold regions, you did not do your paleontological research. Mammoths did not live in cold regions. Mammoths are elephants, in case you didn't know. And they lived in the same areas elephants live in. Do you know where elephants live? Layman? Yeah. They live in sub-Saharan Africa, where it's hot. I don't know about any elephants that live up in the Arctic or in Canada. So one of the frauds that you've been fed is that saber-toothed tiger and mammoth lived in the Ice Age next to the glaciers. That couldn't be further from the truth. Saber-toothed cats, like all panthers, live in equatorial regions. They barely get up into where I live. The puma and the lynx are northern climb animals. Those are thick-furred animals. The mammoth was not thick-furred. It had the same amount of fur as a boar. And guess where the boar problem in America is? South Texas. Mammoths are tropical elephants that lived during the last ice age. They did not live near glaciers or in the Arctic. Anyone that believes that is just as much a fraud because they didn't do their homework as anyone else spouting the BS on the internet. Mammoths are not tropical animals. They're elephants. Elephants do not live in the tropics, even if you put hair on them. Maybe they could get to New York City, but they do not live in cold areas. They never did. That's why they were eating buttercups, which are rainforest subtropical plants. So if you can't put those pieces of information together, I don't know where you're coming from. Buttercups in the mouth of mammoths means they were eating in subtropical regions, which is where they lived. They never lived near glaciers or cold regions. But I guarantee 80% of the people would tell you that mammoths lived next to ice. They're glacial animals. Wrong. This is just part of the disinformation that you've been fed. How many animals live up in the Arctic? Barely any. They have to have thick, very thick hides. Penguins, seals, polar bears, very thick hair. And the mammoth had none of that. It was a subtropical animal that was caught in an Arctic region. They got stuck in the Arctic and portrayed by the mainstream as an Arctic animal. False. So I digress. Fossils from animals and plants are not necessary for crude oil and natural gas. Do you know why? Because of the graphic I just showed you. Abiotic oil is true. Methane-derived hydrocarbons produced under upper mantle conditions were proven, theoretically, decades ago. And there is widespread evidence that petroleum originates from biological processes. This is coming from a 2015 paper, Geophysical Laboratory, Carnegie Institute, Washington District of Columbia. Whether hydrocarbons can also be produced from abiogenic precursors under high pressure, high temperature conditions, characteristics of upper mantle remains an open question. But I can tell you from my geologic experience that diamonds, deuterium, and other crazy mineralogy all can occur in this asthenosphere. Eclogite, Google it. I mean, this is the most bizarre green mafic rock you could ever see. It has fully formed diamonds and garnets in it. In fact, we've recently found a planet exclusively made of garnet, which is proven by what we've already seen in the mantle. So that is simply a planet which the surface is actually the mantle, which would make sense. It would be a big garnet, grossular, almandine even. So based on my experience as a geologist, all of the astrophysics being unexplainable that they're finding is totally explainable if you just look at the Earth. That's how compartmentalized science has become in the last 3 decades. That people can't see their ass from a hole in their head. They don't know the difference. And I can assure you that everyone has an opinion. Hello. But facts are hard to come by. So it's very difficult to erase the 85% of dogma that you've been taught that has based on no factual information or science at all. Basically, all of astronomy and astrophysics are in the dust right now because there is no scientific method. There is no theory. There's no hypothesis that's being tested. Because if there was a theory or a hypothesis being tested, astronomy and astrophysics would be at a 0 in the game. They have yet to produce a new hypothesis which would result in a theory that could be tested based on any of the facts that they're accumulating. They stick in this dogmatic model going back to the late 1800s. That's nonsense. Anyway, this is just a precursor to your knowledge about how hydrocarbons can be forming oil and gas in the subsurface. And you know why I wholeheartedly believe this to be 100% true? Because Immanuel Velikovsky predicted that Venus's atmosphere would not only be epically hot, but it would be all hydrocarbons. And we've proven both of those statements to be true. And still, no one revisits Velikovsky. Pathetic. It's a sham. It's a smokescreen. It's a smokescreen to keep you stupid and compliant, like the sheep that you are. Bah! Now, breaking research is confirming that volcanoes are fed by mush reservoirs rather than magma chambers, which means that that very same layer where hydrocarbons are being produced is where magma is produced, which makes sense geochemically. And if my geochemistry professor, Dr. Grandstaff, is listening, his head is exploding because he knows that what I'm saying is probably true. Gene Omer, God rest his soul, up in space, part of the Akashic Record and now a Birkeland Current, is smiling ear to ear. He knows when I answered that question in French fries why I did it, because it was that pathetic. So we're going to be uncovering the facts. More facts are coming in. It's amazing. Something weird is going on with New Horizons' next target. Ahead of the January 1st rendezvous, strange readings from the New Horizons spacecraft suggest a mystery around its asteroid target. It is no mystery that this asteroid is electric. It is only a mystery to the people in mainstream academia that have been prevented from thinking outside of the box. And they're baffled, but I'm not. It's amazing. When I read this article, I was like, oh my God, it makes complete sense. Electric universe, moons around an asteroid, completely electrified. Did you know that Jupiter emits more light than it's reflecting? Almost 3 times more light comes off Jupiter than it reflects from the sun, which means that Jupiter is a sun. It's glowing. And 2/3 of the light, making it the brightest light in the night sky other than the moon, is because it's a sun in low glow. Jupiter is a sun emitting I'm saying this incorrectly. 2/3 of the light coming from Jupiter are not reflective from the sun. Are you hearing me? Saturn, the same. Uranus, very similar. These are gas giants. These are brown dwarfs. These planets are suns, and they're in our solar system. We have 4 suns in our solar system. The Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. 4 suns. And the funny thing is that Saturn was our original sun. That's how little you know. Now, New Horizons doesn't arrive at Ultima Thule for another week. But that doesn't mean it hasn't caught an amazing glimpse at what's going on there. In fact, the asteroid, which is asymmetrical, is not changing brightness at all, which it should. It should be like a lighthouse. Wow, 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 every time it spins. But this baby's not changing brightness. So as we get to it, they're predicting that there are going to be moons circling around this object. Here's what they're showing. I can't wait for the next 14 days to unfold. Disclosure is quick. The Hopi predicted this. It's called the quickening. Are you aware of how much information is being flooded into your brain in the last 3 years? It's getting exponential. I'll leave you links to the physics.org article. Now let's talk about harvest right. Before we close up, we became an affiliate, and a lot of people.
It's Retired at 40. I've waited a really long time. It seems like forever to do this video. Just about 1 year now, I've had my harvest right. And the reason I waited so long is I really wanted to put it through its paces. Really made sure that if I was going to give an honest review, that it needed to go through.
So this guy had it for a year, and he went through 3,600 hours of it running. And I want to reveal to you all the facts about Harvest Right. This company hit the market a few years ago because they were offering the only non-commercial freeze dryer ever to the public. And to this day, the Harvest Right is the only one you can buy. If you want a commercial version, I found one for $9,800. You're talking $18,000 for a good commercial unit. So for $2,000, you can buy the homeowner's version. And this guy ran it for 3,600 hours, which is almost every day for a year. There are other people like John Coe, Growing Your Greens, who have negative reviews because he couldn't get customer service to send him out a new part. But that has all been fixed. In fact, in the last 4 months, the original unit that they developed has all been scratched. And the only units they sell now are the new units, the ones that don't have any problems. So the first people that got involved from the rep, the preppers, the people with tons of money that could just dump it in here, including John Coe, who probably got one for free, are the only people bitching about this freeze dryer. This guy isn't even bitching about it. He's telling you about the facts. And the facts are, if you don't know how to service an appliance, do not buy it. And I implore you that if you don't know how to service an appliance, that you should buy it so you can learn how to do something. When I got my diesel tractor, I didn't know anything about diesel mechanics. Right now, I'm probably the best diesel mechanic in town. In a few years. Because even the best diesel mechanic couldn't fix my tractor when I brought him up to fix my tractor. It was too new. So the only way you could know what your tractor does is to take it apart and see what's going on. And if you have someone that's from the company that can be there with you taking it apart, then you should do it because you're going to be the expert. That's what separates the survivors and thrivers from the sheep. Initiative. Go get it. This guy went and got it, and he proved that this machine, even the first iteration, is badass.
Lots and lots and lots of cycles. Because things that seemed like they were negative in the beginning really don't seem like they're that big a deal anymore.
And he retired at 40. How old are you, Shorty? Come check out his channel. Come check out the review. And guess what? Harvest Right sent him a thumb drive with the new update for the software to make his old piece of crap system just like the new ones. So if you want the only freeze dryer on the market, which is now upgraded, buy it now because it's the brand new model. And their customer service has improved. And if you go look at Retired at 40's videos, he will tell you that you can get the best customer service from this company ever before. He needed a new freeze dryer door. They sent it out to him the next day. It was like, boom, right there. And you have 24/7 support on the phone. So Harvest Right is the only choice, and they now fix their problems with customer service. And guys, granted, they downgraded a $20,000 commercial model for homeowners. So it's going to have some problems. Those people who bought the first engineered model, they're suckers because they're going to get all the kinks. The new model they made is the new iteration. It's going to be around till 2021. There will be no changes. This is the new one. Their customer service is excellent. And this guy's report will reveal from the beginning till now. And then I just told you about what just happened now, including the new update to the software. And where it used to take 48 hours to freeze dry food, now you can do it in 30. Something that took 24 hours, done in 18. Instead of costing $3.40 to freeze dry 3 pounds of food, it now only costs $1.50. And now your price point is down to where you're in a business model. And that's a boom. Run that baby all day. Go to the farmer's market for 6 weeks. Make your entire year's worth of income in a summer. Wouldn't that be a bummer? Take off the rest. You'll be the best. We're about to make some amazing announcements. Think outside the box. If you don't think you can do it, it's just because you're working on a fear model. Fear. Don't be scared. Because if you're living hand to mouth, check to check, day to day, that's because you're stuck in that modality. Stop it. Don't go to the bar. Don't go to the mini mart. Don't do what you normally do. Just stay quiet and find a dirty napkin or a piece of paper and bring it out in front of you. And then think about 3 things you can change about your nightmare that will free you. Think about how much money you spend buying food that's made for you. Think about that. If you eat out every day and spend $6 a day and think you're poor, but you spend $6 a day eating out, you're an idiot. Because in 10 days you'll have $60, and that $60 could feed you for months if you think outside of the box. Stop being lazy. Start being proactive. Laziness breeds depression. When I hear people say they're bored, that's because they're depressed. It's not because they're stupid. It's because they just don't know what to do. There are infinite things that anyone can do at any time. There are 4.9 trillion books that you have not read. No one could read those books in their entire life. No one could read 1% of them. So if you say you're bored, that's because you're brainwashed and you don't know that there are unlimited opportunities that you can pounce on right now. Boredom is because of brainwashing. The system wants you to be a puppet. They want you to get fat, sick, and die eating shit. Food made for sheep that they put in a box and they put cheese flavor on. So if you like your cheese flavored sheep puffs, then eat them. Get fat, go to the hospital, have multiple strokes, and die. Or change your life. Be empowered. Realize that in your entire life, you barely have enough time to learn less than 1% of what you need to know. And then you'll be totally fluxed. There won't be enough time to learn what you need to know. And you will never have a moment without drive and incentive to know more. And each and every day, you'll be reducing the amount of money you spend on garbage food that kills you. You'll be learning ways to sprout food, make your own food, cook your own food, stockpile your own food that's on sale that you can freeze, can, freeze dry, and survive and thrive in the times that you live in. We're not talking about Armageddon. The grid may go down. It may go down forever, in which case you'll cry. But there might be a tsunami. There might be a volcanic eruption where you live. It might be a blizzard that knocks out the pipes. The water might stop flowing for a few days or weeks. Do you have enough water to live? Clean water, filtered water that you can drink and not shit yourself to death? That's what we're talking about. Be prepared, not scared. Think forward, not backward. Stop complying and stop bitching. Start learning. Start yearning for information. There is more information in my pinky than you could ever learn. And that's boom. And stop being lazy. We have 900 videos we made over the last 2 years. Here's 27 videos under radio show, a playlist. Someone said, you got to talk about prepping. There are 17 hours of the most informative prepping information that are on the internet under radio show, prepping for the grand solar minimum. Please go there. Find out how to search the internet correctly. If you don't know how to find my playlist on preparedness, you're not going to make it. Facts are in. If you can't utilize the resources that are free and in front of you, what are you wasting your money on? LeakCon2019 confirmed. Exposing the lies, Denver, Colorado. May 18th to 19th. This may be the only chance we have to do this. We have special hotel rate, half price, $120 a night. Downtown Denver, Marriott Tech Center. Confirmed Adrian D'Amico, suspect Sky. Now, Adrian, I've met him at Observing the Frontier. He's the administrator of the suspiciousobservers.org website. That's a big one. They have maybe 10,000 subscribers. It's a huge site filled with actual factual science. None of it goes along with the mainstream. Well, 38%. But the things we talk about on suspiciousobservers.org and my channel are similar. I just have a bigger leash. But Adrian's a good guy. His father, in fact, is a leading doctor who has been presenting at Observing the Frontier about geomagnetic activity and human health. And he's one of the cutting edge doctors in the field that are warning about it. Not only that, it's not a warning, but it's to understand your surroundings. Why did you have the stroke? Space weather. It had nothing to do with your diet and everything to do with space. So his father is cutting away the chaff in academia as far as science is concerned with space weather and human health. And Adrian he's been interested in strange anomalies in the sky, specifically UFO research and geoengineering. But his talk is going to be on fast radio bursts and the human effort to search for non-terrestrial civilizations, i.e., strange objects on the moon, Mars, and other areas. Bizarre shapes of moons that many think are Death Stars. It'll be a fun time because I'm sure I would totally go against half of the things he has to say. But I digress. We're not here to alienate each other. We're here to uplift each other. Through science and facts, we can all come to a conclusion. And we're doing it together. If you're in this for the wrong reason and you're here to obfuscate the truth, make shit up, show lens flares, talk about stellar cores, and other bullshit that you're like, I don't know what's going on. Here, look at this fake picture. I don't know what this is. If you're here for that reason, we will all stick our foot deep inside of your rectum. And it will be checked up and down and in and out. Because we're coming for you. There is now a major shift in the conspiracy theory narrative. Those that are actual scientists that are on the fringe, that are studying using science and data, we are coming together as a team and we're a wavefront. And we are now becoming a tsunami of information to rectify the situation of disinformation, which is disgusting. If you're on YouTube or the internet to profit over bullshit, we're going to stick our foot in your ass and we're coming. Adrian D'Amico is there. He is one of the most influential YouTubers that has integrity, that is hanging himself off the limb into conspiracy theory. So he's confirmed. And I need an N in there. Holy shit. Confirmed. And if you're new to Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to walk you through a tutorial. Click on the 3 dots. Even if you're commenting below a video, 3 dots allow you to edit. Click on edit. Wait. And it'll pop up the screen. Add the edit. Is that where it is? Confirmed? No. Is it here? Confirmed. Okay, good. So we've now submit it. Watch what happens down here. We fixed it. And that's a boom. I love teaching you. I love learning with you. Confirmed. Adrian D'Amico, Suspect Sky, YouTube. Administrator of SuspiciousObservers.org website. Adrian's talk will be entitled, Have We Always Been Alone? Will we? Yeah, have we always been? And he will include information on FRBs and the human effort to search for non-terrestrial civilizations. That would be SETI. And other people wearing tinfoil caps. Now, LeakCon2019 Denver, there's only one place to buy the tickets, and that is at our ticketspice.com/LeakCon site. Link below. Use coupon code BOOM. Caps, all caps, BOOM. And you will get 20% off any ticket until January 31st. And then it's over. There are only 129 tickets left. That's it. Total. Forever. And Rex Bear and I, after the new year, will be revealing 3 of the most amazing presenters that you could ever imagine. We can't even tell you who they are. That's how amazing they are. And right now, the lineup is amazing. Rex Bear, David Dubine, Adrian D'Amico, John D'Souza, retired FBI agent and author, Robert Felix, Magnetic Reversals and Evolutionary Leaps. Are you evolving now? Diamond from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. My talk is going to be on cosmic catastrophe and the Milankovitch cycle and how you're living the sea level fall surface. Glaciation much? Greg Allison, NASA insider, Christian Westbrook, Ice Age farmer, and Lee Wheelbarger. He invented night vision for the military. He did. Thor News, always a fun guy, Hemp Lucid. We will all get well. If you buy the VIP package, the full value will pay for itself in Hemp Lucid alone. And if you feel ripped off, I will comp you 1 ounce of Oppenheimer Ranch cannabis, which is worth $400. That's boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. If you haven't, I need you to subscribe to Suspect Sky, who has currently 35,000 more subscribers than we do. This bitch. But it's not a competition. It's not. In fact, he barely has 4,000 viewers on any of his vids. We have 20,000. So I need you 20,000 people that never heard of him to go subscribe to him. If you don't think that Diamond believes in geoengineering or aliens or UFOs, why would I invite Adrian to come onto our shows? No one knows. You must all be hoes. And that's a boom. SpaceX UFO sighting Dragon Rendezvous 1 hour ago. Learn something. I don't have time to do the videos he's doing. We are a collective. You got to watch it all. If you don't, you're going to miss out. Stick with the winners. If you want to know the facts, stay away from people that talk about Planet X, Nibiru, and all that other BS. I can't believe let's just watch it. Would you look at it? What the is that? Wait. Let's do it again. Adrian D'Amico, Suspect Sky, picking this up. That looks like a huge spaceship. I would say that's a suspect sky. Thank you, Adrian, for your diligent effort in exposing the truth. Let's watch it. Multiple objects in the same time frame. You be the judge. This is not CGI. This is not Tyler from Secure Team photoshopping. It's not Dane Wigington photoshopping chemtrails. This is actual footage. Subscribe to the channel, give him a thumbs up, tell him Diamond sent you, and say, welcome to LeakCon. And that's a boom. Heads up. Hope you got something out of tonight's video. Volcanoes are exploding as predicted, and we're teaching you. Don't be scared, be prepared. Check out Oppenheimer Ranch Preparedness store. I just increased the products in season extenders, greenhouses, clutches, cold frames. Over 100 products, top of the line. They're all the products in the world. So you might as well buy them from us so that you can support the channel. You don't have to donate at all. Just buy through Amazon and we steal 3% from Jeff Bezos. This is a way to beat the system while we use the system. Donate to us by screwing Jeff Bezos over of 3% because you're going to buy from Amazon anyway. We are using the system to beat the system. They cannot shut us down. I am a graduate student scientist. I am published in the literature. I've been around for decades and I am going nowhere. We love each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel. Every day, I'm going to try to tone down my language for the masses. And that is not going to be easy. Be safe. We love you. LeakCon2019. 123 tickets. That's it. That's a boom. Happy New Year.